Hey guys, time to get in on the action for the biggest moments in basketball with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections, place your entry, and win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use the code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
You love podcasts, the stories, the laughs, the unexpected turns. But when this episode ends, the silence starts. Not anymore. Audiobooks.com turns that silence into your next great adventure. With over 450,000 titles, from bestsellers to hidden gems, your love for listening just found its new best friend. And because you already know the joy of audio, we're giving you 3 free audiobooks to start your journey. Imagine your favorite podcast, now with unlimited episodes. That's audiobooks.com. Keep the story going. Sign up for your free trial at audiobooks.com/podcastfree today. Because for podcast lovers like you, the end of an episode is just the beginning. That's audiobooks.com/podcastfree.
And now, Hangar 56 Media presents Spike's Car Radio, a downloadable cars and coffee, hosted by writer, comedian, and automotive enthusiast Spike Feresten. Now, here's Spike.
About what song to play tonight, John. That's Whipping Post by the Allman Brothers Band. And I feel like I was tied to a whipping post today.
Me too.
I don't know why, but listen, this song is so good. If you went to high school in West Bridgewater, Massachusetts, West Bridgewater High, in the early 80s, in 81 or 82, you would have heard Young, Michael, Ferris, Vinny Sanchez was my nickname. Play this song.
Well, you got to explain Vinny Sanchez.
And I'm sure it wasn't very good. But it felt like this. It felt like this.
Why Vinny Sanchez?
Let me fade this out. Love the Allman Brothers. In life, we do not ask for our nicknames. They are just given to you.
Yeah. I'm familiar, but okay.
And I said before you was Spike first, and I did not name myself that. It was given to me.
That's fair.
Saturday Night Live. Before that, I was a bartender, and they said I was barback. I'm sorry. I was the guy who brought ice to the bars at Faneuil Hall. Lugging ice to put myself through college. I make it sound bigger and better than it was, but I wanted to be there. I loved it more than college.
Sure.
And on the first day, one of the bartenders said, I give nicknames to everybody. You're going to be Pine Weasel. And I said, why? Because he kind of looked like a pine weasel. Ha, ha, ha. Everyone laughed, all the older folks. And I said, yeah, it's cool. In high school, Tom Terranova, one of my friends, very Zuckerman-like friend.
Yeah.
Said, you look like Vince from Deputy Doug. So I am going to call you Vinny Sanchez. He never explained the Sanchez piece of this.
Okay.
But as things happen when you're young, and especially in Massachusetts, everybody had a nickname. Vinny Sanchez very quickly stuck.
It stuck.
And I became Vinny Sanchez. No one called me anything but Vinny in my junior year and senior year.
Do you still answer to Vinny?
I would know it was someone from high school if someone called me.
Okay.
Yeah, it would make me laugh.
I've never had a nickname that stuck. I'm thinking like Leverman and Lieberswine.
Lieberswine.
I mean, kind of, that's just me, you, and what's his face?
Yeah. Zuckerman, who couldn't be here tonight.
Could not be here tonight.
But
yeah.
We are here too, by the way, here in our Hollywood office.
This is crazy.
This is the unfrosted office. You were downtown. Right?
Downtown, yeah.
We had a hard time pulling a show together. Everybody's schedule was a mess, but you so graciously agreed to come, and I said I'd meet you halfway.
Yeah.
Here.
This
is fun.
I was just in...
Isn't this nice? Look, these are actually... You can't say what you're seeing, but these are posters from the movie.
Oh yeah.
And cool stuff from early 60s to kind of put us in the mood.
I was Peter Sellers. I just watched Dr. Strangelove on the airplane today.
And then right behind you.
Oh yeah.
So Jerry's office is next door. That's mine. And he shows up with furniture and all these great posters and goes, "What do you want?" I said, "Those two."
Yeah.
"Take more."
Those are good.
So yeah.
And
but it's nice to be here. I think we'll do more shows here.
It's very convenient for me. This is 15 minutes from
this is great.
Yeah, this is easy.
Well, I was here in Hollywood because I was on the set of Winning Time.
Oh, no kidding.
Today.
I love that show. I love that show.
I was just being a fan. I'm a big fan of the show. And, someone we know who used to work on Seinfeld there, Dave Richardson, we bumped into him. He said he would invite you by. And boy, he followed through on his promise.
Nice.
And let the showrunner, Max Bornstein, know. That's how he pronounces his last name. Yeah. He's the guy, the showrunner. And he took us around and... I can't really talk about what I saw, but it's season 2. I brought Mrs. Ferriston. There's one thing I am going to tell you. Yes.
Yeah.
There seem to be a lot of people dressed as the Lakers there.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, and they had built an entire basketball stadium on the Warner Brothers lot.
Oh, wild.
And I walked in and I went, "Oh my God." And I can't talk about anything I saw, but I went, "Oh my God." And I just want to thank all of those folks there. We had such a nice morning when the rest of the world was falling apart. Simple things. The Tesla. Remember everybody way back when the Tesla got a flat tire in Palm Springs?
Yes.
Yeah, and I was sidelined.
Tequila store to the rescue.
The tequila store.
Yes.
The upshot of that was our lives were saved by Vincenza or whatever the guy's name, Vicente Fox. I don't remember.
Vinny Sanchez, I believe.
Yeah, Vinny Sanchez. And when we got home, I said to my wife, "Now remember, get a new tire. That plug may not last."
Oh, she didn't get one?
Guess what?
She didn't get a new tire?
We're on the 101. And I go, what's the exclamation point for? What is this? I hadn't driven her car for a while. And sure enough, yeah, we were leaking air. And so we limped onto the lot. The heat went out in our last storm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we've been a couple days without heat, consistent with California right now. And I think everywhere that people can't afford to live, that do real jobs. From waiting tables to plumbing and heating, no one can come.
Right.
They can't come for
Isn't
weeks.
that
There
wild?
just aren't enough people around
wild?
working right now.
We had to get a new air conditioner last year, and it was like we made the call in December, and the guys got there in March.
It makes perfect sense. Look, getting back to the Pine Weasel days.
Pine Weasel,
all right?
yes.
I could support myself as a barback, not even a bartender, and still afford an apartment in Boston. I could never do that day. So why would I ever drive 3 hours to lug ice to a bar? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're all dealing with. But in any case, and I don't mean to toot my own horn here,
toot.
but I... You know me. I like to wrench on things and I don't know what I'm doing. And it's 50-50. I might ruin everything or I might have a breakthrough.
Yes.
Okay. I immediately did a deep dive on the Rheem Classic, I think 20 furnace. Hold on. Here, let me pull it up here because I know that.
Wait, you're working on a furnace? Have you ever in your life worked on a furnace?
No. Okay, here it is. The Rheem Classic Super Quiet 80.
What?
Is a heater and an air conditioning unit, right? On the most common fault codes, the lights, the whole thing, right? Even the stuff not to do. I watched a video on YouTube. Do not bang on the gas valve with a hammer.
That would have been my first instinct.
If the house burns down,
right.
None of your insurance claim might not even get, because you banged on it with a hammer. Well, I banged on that thing with a hammer.
Of course, yeah.
Because that seemed like the right solution.
That's what I would have done, yeah.
Went back to it, turned it on, and God damn it, the thing started working again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
From the hammer?
It took me 24 hours. I don't know if it was the hammer or the igniter. I called, and then you pretend to be an expert in this stuff, right? So I'm calling around. What's the problem? Well, I think it's the gas valve or the igniter, right? Because I had just seen the parts diagram.
Right.
And they go, well, yeah, those are the two most common things. I'm like, oh, wow, I am really good at this.
And I think your house is burning down as we record.
It could, and it's not perfect yet, but But I looked at the igniter and I called this guy I know who does work in heating and cooling. I go, this doesn't look that hard. He goes, don't mess with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I said, just let me mess with it a little. And I kind of disconnected stuff and reconnected stuff and then reset my breakers. And it worked. The damn thing started up. I don't think it's working at 100%, but the house is no longer freezing.
Oh, that's good.
It was a huge victory.
That's good.
That was one of the great things that happened today. And I think it's going to end up being the theme for 2023 for all of us. Which that very first day, as you recall, I was stuck on the side of a hill in Tahoe.
Sure.
And most satisfying when I called the local heating people, the lady said, I can't help you and I'm sorry because I'm stuck in Tahoe.
Oh, really?
She turns out she was 1 block from where I was. She goes, I can't get home. I go,
That's great.
I totally understand.
Right.
But that day was the day I crashed. I gave up. I was defeated, but then had a victory. And again, it seems to be happening here. And I want you listeners to use this as an inspiration for your life.
Listeners, you're going to burn your homes down.
When things are bad,
You're going to shoot your eye out.
just bang on shit with a hammer. And you might have a small victory.
Yeah, or Zuckerman might be calling you.
Yes.
With a hammer.
Speaking of Zuckerman,
Zuckerman. Yes.
today's episode is sponsored in part by Carpenter and Zuckerman, which was founded in 1995 by Paul Zuckerman and John Carpenter. Since then, they have delivered billions in justice to tens and thousands of injured clients. Carpenter and Zuckerman go to trial more than any other personal injury firm in the state of California. This means the insurance companies are afraid of them, as they should be. It also means they will get you more money than any other lawyers who specialize in all talk and no action. You've heard Zuckerman saying,
We'll get you the money.
we'll get you the money.
The money.
If you're in the state of California, czlaw.org is where you want to go. That's Zuckerman's spot. That's his contribution to the show today.
Nice.
And I hope you guys are all in a good mood. You've had a rough day? Is that what you're saying?
Me? I woke up in Florida at 4:20 Florida time, which is 1:20 California time. And I haven't slept yet. And I was just filming a Volvo video. So
Okay, good.
Oh, by the way, it's 7:18 p.m.
And we just drank coffee.
and we just drink espresso.
a really bad idea. It's 7 o'clock.
I am almost shot out of a cannon. But I did see this cool new Volvo SUV, EX90. So
Yeah,
it's their,
that's the picture you sent me.
yeah, I sent you a picture of it. It's an electric 3-row SUV that can go 300 miles on a charge.
Right.
So that's sort of
That's good.
That's the sweet spot, right? That's
Yeah.
only the Model X could do that for about 8 years.
And you've got the Rivian SUV.
And I have the Rivian, which can go 328 miles on a charge, and
And the same height as my Defender, which barely makes it into this parking
Well, I don't
garage.
have that idiotic roof rack, so
Yes,
it
I know.
it fit in no problem.
Wow.
Because it's got air suspension like the Defender, so it just dropped down.
Oh,
to the floor.
perfect.
Yeah, easy, no problem.
No scratches on the side. But all of it seems to be bad news for Tesla. There's a lot going on
Oh, boy.
with Tesla right now.
Oh,
and I don't
boy.
know where to start. I have a lot of some Porsche news to discuss too, but since we're talking about electric cars,
Yeah.
we should really discuss the big price cuts that happened. I mean, really all the news. Let me first, I want to hear your opinion about this.
Yeah.
You do an EV podcast, right?
I do. Well, yeah.
Okay,
the
here we
future
go.
of the
So
car.
Tesla kind of January 12th is when this went down, announced that they were reducing their car prices. I think people were expecting it, but not such massive drops in prices. The Model 3 went from 47,000 down to 44,000, 6% drop. Model 3P, 62,000 down to $53,990.
Big drop.
Model Y long range, 20% drop, 65,990 to 52. And that's an amazing car. That's the car we have. Mm-hmm. But what happens to the people who put those orders in 3 months ago? Are they paying the old price?
Yeah.
Or
What about the people that bought them on January 11th? That's the weird part. Because this happened in China first. Do you see those videos of like Chinese customers storming the Tesla dealership, like demanding their money back?
No, I
Yeah.
didn't.
Oh, they were
and
everywhere.
the Model Y Performance, another great car, 69,990, 23% drop to 56,990.
So part of this is because of the new the infrastructure bill, the Biden Build Back Better, whatever it actually was called. So now to get that $7,500 tax credit, the vehicles have to cost under a certain amount.
Right.
And I forget all the things, but I forget the specifics. But yeah, they had to lower the prices to give people, because my understanding, and I'm probably wrong and everyone's going to yell, Tesla, they still make a lot of money off the fact that they have all these $7,500 credits. And so they have to use them or lose them or something, or they have to sell them. So they wanted to get the vehicles, the prices down. And because Teslas are built in the US, or at least the ones we buy are built in the US, and the batteries are made in the US, because that's what the new law is. It used to be that if you bought an EV, it didn't matter. You got a $7,500 tax credit. Now, the car has to be built in the US and the battery has to be built in the US. So if the battery's from China and the car's US, you only get like 3,000 or whatever it is, 3,500. And your income goes into effect. So Spike, you and probably me won't qualify for anything with EV credits anymore because we make too much money.
Right.
Which sort of sucks because I liked my $7,500 tax credit.
Right away, I think if you were like me, you're going, well, can I get a Tesla now? Can I get a cheap Tesla? Cars.com had 5 or 4 here Model S's for less than $25,000. They were all 2015s or older.
Oh, yeah. And that means you're going to have to do a battery replacement. Yeah.
Right. But there were some people going, stay away and upset. But I don't know. I got the sense people were like, there's a bargain here. Mm-hmm. There's cars, and now we can get in on it on a great electric car. So, it does smack though of a little desperation on Tesla's part.
So General Motors, I forget when it was, 6, 7, 8 months ago, with the Chevy Bolt,
right?
They dropped the price $7,500,
right?
And the sales went through the roof,
right?
It was crazy,
right?
But
they have other cars.
They do have other cars, but the Bolt which was a very good car when it came out. It's still actually pretty good because the motor tech is pretty good. They couldn't sell them. They were sales proof, and then they just dropped the price $7,500. Boom. So Tesla must have noticed that, and they want to now get the prices down so people can get their EV credits. And
I don't know. My sense of it was there's the competition is here for them all of a sudden, and their profit margins are very high, and the price of their cars are very high, and they've got a lot of vehicles laying around, and they've got to get rid of them. Right? Didn't they meet and miss, sales targets?
For the first time ever, they missed, they still delivered a lot of cars.
Yeah, no, I know.
It was like 400,000 or so. They outsold BMW as a company.
So either they're becoming, they're in trouble, or they're becoming a normal car manufacturer and with smaller profit margins. Which do you think it is?
Well, the other thing you have to take into account, I don't know the answer to that, but they also lost 66% of their value if you're a stockholder.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you saw the stock price today, but it jumped pretty high.
It went up.
It went way up, and the market went down. Here, I pull it up. The market overall tanked 400 points, and Tesla was up 9 points, and that was 7.5%. So
Tesla, yes,
So I don't know. I don't know. It's so hard. They don't have a PR department, so you can't. They can't put out a statement.
You're looking at their PR department.
Yes,
and I remain a fan. So
yes, Mr. Sanchez.
Yes, Vinny Sanchez.
Call
Tesla PR.
Call Vinny.
Yes, call Vinny.
Yes.
He'll take care of it. There was some good news, though. There was some good news, according to them. The autopilot, which has been catching a lot of flack from folks as being dangerous, they put out some data that this is directly from Tesla. We are proud of Autopilot's performance and its impact on reducing traffic collisions, the company states with a press release. January 2023 vehicle safety report. The numbers are staggering. In the third quarter, 1 crash was recorded for every 6.26 million miles driven using Autopilot. Tesla is not using Autopilot technology, logged 1 crash every 1.71 million miles.
Right, so it's like 5 times safer. I don't have it in front of me. Somebody debunked that already, and they're like, complete horseshit, and I forget the reason why. And again, Tesla's putting it out, not the government. So I don't know.
I believe it. And I'll tell you why. But again, I can only speak for me, and I can't speak for the public at large. But just driving up to Tahoe in the Defender, right? I look away for a second with the cruise control on, and I am driving right into the back of somebody's car at 85. I've got it set for 85, right?
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got to babysit that, and I know it's not called autopilot, but I don't care what it's. I don't even know what Defender calls their cruise control. It's not relevant to me. I know I have to watch this thing.
Right.
And, having just driven that Tesla today to the Warner Brothers lot to see my favorite show, one of my favorite shows, Winning Time, it was the same thing. I had to babysit the goddamn thing, and it did great, and it kept me. Look, when I turned it off, my wife was like, will you slow down, please? Will you stop driving like that? And when it was on, she was peacefully kind of returning texts.
Okay.
That tells you all you need to know about me as a driver sometimes. Right. It was the time that this thing was on, the vehicle was more safe than when me, the idiot, was trying to get through traffic to get someplace. Does that make sense?
I'll just point out, I was, again, just looking at this new Volvo, which has LiDAR and 5 radar sensors and 3D maps. And I got the full sales pitch, and they're like, unlike the Model X, which only has cameras and rudimentary radar.
Yep.
This is much safer. So I don't know. We need a third party to really figure out the safety situation.
I'm a third party, and I think it's very safe.
Mr. Sanchez.
Hello.
How safe is this Tesla?
No cars are safe. No 2-ton vehicles are safe.
3-ton.
Let us have these things. All right, there's a new vehicle that I do want to talk about here that I'm glad. See, I'm glad we're doing this show last minute, and it may have been a moment late today, Wednesday, for you guys, but don't panic. But it allows us to talk about the latest, greatest things. And autocar.co.uk has pictures of the new 992 911 ST.
Oh,
and details.
We broke the story on that. That was us. That was this show.
I guess I have not read that.
No, remember when we heard about the Sport Classic? And
yeah.
ST. So they are calling it the ST.
We'd heard about the ST a long, long time ago. And I can't say how, but again, I don't think anybody cares if we break the stories or not.
No.
I get excited because I love the brand.
No one cares.
I love hearing about it, but no one really cares.
No, I personally broke the story of the mid-engine Corvette in 2014.
Yeah.
And you got me an espresso. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess people would listen to hear things, and we do have our ear to the ground on that stuff. But listen to this car. Now, here's a little bit of a surprise that maybe you knew about, that maybe you can clarify for me. Because up until this moment, up until this afternoon, I thought this 911 ST would be essentially a GT3 RS touring. Okay. That is what I had heard from 2 separate dealers and people who've been on calls. And
I never thought that.
The GT3 touring. That's what they said they were being told.
My understanding was it was a 1973 RS kind of homage type thing.
Well, listen to this.
Okay.
Porsche is preparing to launch another low-volume Heritage variant of the 911 this coming summer. That's not a word I like to see, but okay, because I think about the Heritage Targa.
Liveries. Yeah. Yeah. Horrible.
Prior to the unveiling of the facelifted model in 2024, okay, the 992.2, I guess that was what that would be. Correct? Created as part of the celebration surrounding this rear-engine sports car's upcoming 60th anniversary, the latest special edition is based around the existing Porsche 911 Carrera T.
Ooh.
But with the grunt provided by the Porsche 911's GT3 naturally aspirated 4-liter flat-6 engine.
Yep, that sounds right. Okay.
Cool. I did not know that T part.
I didn't know the T part, but if you think about it, that's the lightest. So the 73
exactly.
RS, right? It's the lightest Porsche there is the T.
Now here
with the best engine they make.
Do you think it's any coincidence that last week you and I both had Carrera Ts? They sent us both those cars, and now this.
Suddenly, I know it's not a coincidence. I thought it was until this very moment, but now I see the reason.
Because what I miss about that car, I really love driving that T, and I know because now I opened the garage. I wanted it to be in there, and it wasn't there, but I missed the lightness. I could feel the lightness in that car, and I forgot about lightness in a Porsche car.
And remember what you said. You said it's just not thrilling. And I think what you meant was the engine isn't thrilling because it is. it is the it's a Carrera engine with weaker turbos.
Yes. Yeah.
So you throw all that away and you put in the best engine in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either that or the Ferrari V12.
But it is, forget thrilling, though I would have driven that car a million miles. I would get in it all the time because it was so nice to drive. Well, here now would be one to put right next to it.
Oh, that's going to be
that
so
same
sweet.
car that feels even lighter, that's got a GT3 engine in it or the GT3 RS engine.
Yeah. So it goes back to the original RS because back then, downforce wasn't a thing, lap times, whatever. They're just, all RS meant was, Rennsport, lightweight, right? Had a little more power and was light. That was what the 73 RS is, right?
Yeah.
So that's what they're building, which is brilliant.
Now, what the hell is this? Now they're reporting. Now, this is also contradictory to what I'd heard. Nothing is official at this stage, but to offset the added weight brought by the electric motor and a lithium-ion battery, Porsche is said to be looking at reserves of up to 750 horsepower in a new high-tech 911 GT2 RS car that is planned to become the last of the 992 generation. I was told last week there wasn't going to be a GT2 RS.
I don't know.
Now I'm confused.
I think how do I put this? They're going to do a big hybrid turbo car. So it'll be, it'll get over 700 horsepower. But here's what I heard was they're going to get, whenever the RS shows up, whether it's 992.1 or 992.2, it's going to be 750 horsepower out of a 6-cylinder. And then it'll have the hybrid assist because the 992.2, there will be a hybrid version. I don't know if you saw today, the hybrid Corvette broke.
I did, yeah.
Broke cover. So Porsche's got to, also do that. And then the 2RS version will probably be, it'll be rear drive with the engine, front motors just for the front wheels so you can drive it in all conditions. And it'll probably be like, I don't know, 875, 900 horsepower RS GT2 type thing.
It's exciting.
That ST is probably the most exciting thing I've heard in a long time.
Yeah.
That because you're right. I did take that car out and I was like, man, and I was talking to Farrah about it when we had our little breakfast.
Right.
And I'm like, if you could just chip it up to 500, he's like, you can't because they put the weak turbos on it to prevent you from doing that. And I was like, oh, if it had like the tires off the GT3 and now the engine.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it got under my skin for
now,
sure.
Now, what's the price point and how many are they making? And
I don't know.
Because the Sport Classic,
I don't know,
was a fortune and super limited, right? It was like a 1,200 and it was 275,000 to start.
But they've got our heads spinning right now.
They've
got our heads spinning.
This is good. Now, hopefully, they don't do the horrible heritage livery with
Whenever I see heritage, and then whenever I see Porsche exclusive department, I get a little worried that maybe this is going to be just an appearance package. But I don't know. This one sounds special. By the way, if you're interested in our 911 touring, it's down at Porsche Clearwater. The Plan Z, right there in the door sill when you open the door, in agate gray with a graphite blue interior and just 1,000 or so miles on it. It's all yours.
Buy it, you maggot.
The original tires, which we took off, are in my hangar in Santa Monica. You can buy those too. Send me a DM if you want them, but I'm not going to ship them. Some guy tried to buy them, and thank you for that, sir. But he said, yeah, you can just ship them to me. I said, nah, you don't want to do that.
Right.
It's going to cost too much money. But if you're in the LA area and you want them, we'll make you a good deal on that. I don't want them to just sit there and die.
Good tires.
I think they only have 100 miles on them.
Good tires.
Yeah, and they're great tires.
Cup 2Rs.
Yeah. Let's talk about our new sponsor, Snap-on. Today's episode is also brought to you by the makers and fixers of Snap-on. The makers and fixers keep the world moving. You find them in the factories, skies, repair shops, roads and rails, building and maintaining practically everything and anything you can imagine. Makers and fixers are the backbone of America. Automotive and collision, aviation and aerospace, motorcycles. I know some makers and fixers. You just heard about me.
Yeah, I was going to say Spike needs some Snap-on tools.
Fixing the Rheem, what is it? Classic 80.
Vinny Sanchez at your service.
Oh my God, I know so much about that furnace right now. I know so much about it, and the warning lights and the two, what it means when one blinks and the other doesn't, or what it means when both greens blink.
Spike needs a spanner for his igniter.
I should be doing a part of their Makers and Fixers promo campaign. I think there will. What are you working on, Johnny? What do you work on at home?
Nothing.
Huh?
Nothing. I know good people. I have the best electrician.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Makers and Fixers, they not only made your car, they keep it running and help you make it awesome. Theirs is not a job, it's a calling. They want to hear from you, Snap-on does. Share your story. Go to makersandfixers.com/spikescarradio. makersandfixers.com/spikescarradio, and check out the Makers and Fixers on Instagram to tell your story. Pretty cool. Thanks, Snap-on. Go there and you can check it out. makersandfixers.com/spikescarradio. That helps out the show if you go there and check it out. All right. So much more. Here, let me see if I can find this clip for you.
I'm still excited about the ST. This is
What's that?
the ST.
You're still having excitement?
That's it, right?
I know. All this
so
stuff
good.
is just keeping me up at night. Okay. Here. This is something I just want to play you from
Yes.
that one of the listeners sent in, and it made me laugh. You remember a while back, I wanted to buy a Dado 45 Hodinkee Special Tag Heuer Carrera, and I found one on a site in Florida, and messaged them and asked them what number, because I was very interested in the number at Delray Watches there. And I went back and forth with a fella named Federico. He's got his own show on YouTube. And he said, there's no way in hell I'm sending you that number. I don't care. It's the principle. Well, apparently he was taken for a $10,000 Patek Philippe. And he would like to get that watch back. And this is what he had to say.
So this one might be chalked up as a loss. That being said, I'm also not going to take it laying down. I'm scouring the internet for this watch. And also, guys, I'm going to give you the serial number of this watch. And if you have any real information, not just a random one you guys find on eBay, if you have any real information, it's a Patek 3919G, serial number 1355967. White gold shipped to the Atlanta
There
area.
you go. Whatever you do, please, listeners, do not counterfeit that watch as a joke. Please do not.
Oh, that would be horrible.
Please do not.
That'd be horrible.
That was sent in by Forza Motorcars IG. Thank you. He thought we would get a kick out of him finally announcing a serial number.
That's fantastic.
I am sorry for his misfortune, but it. I need to have my moment.
What's the term? Just desserts, I think that's called.
What's that?
Comeuppance, just desserts?
Just desserts. Here was another one. We had talked a long ago about a woman who got sued for. She was trying to hold Geico accountable for an STD infection that took place in her car.
Go on.
Do you remember that story?
No. I mean,
And,
she didn't get it from
and we
me.
talked to Zuckerman about it. Can you sue Geico because you caught a sexually transmitted disease having in a romantic encounter in your car if it's insured by Geico?
No. I mean, I would say, what does Zuckerman say? What did he say?
It's possible.
Really?
But the court said no.
Yeah. I'm with the
Geico
court.
doesn't have to pay this woman $5.2 million for the STD.
Whoa. What STD was this? That's a good one.
It's not going to be...
That's not the clap. That's a big one.
It's HPV positive.
Oh, please. First of all, prove she got it in the car.
Well, it was all over
You
this
know what I'm
shift.
saying? Anyways.
No, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you go. I just wanted to follow up
Yeah,
on that.
good. Comprehensive.
You know, we also, while we were talking about Tesla, this is a fun Tesla story that's happening here in LA. I don't know if you saw this, Johnny, and maybe you can come around here and check it out. There's a guy in a Tesla Model Y.
Oh, I'm so up to date on this.
Running rampant. Let me just play.
Yes.
Let's play it for the listeners here so they can hear what's happening here. But what we have here is a clip, one of several, of a guy in a V-neck T-shirt and it looks like a pipe getting out of a beautiful Model Y, just like mine, and beating the hell out of people and cars. It appears like it's on the 10. Here, check it out.
The guy notices that I'm recording. Next thing you know, he's pounding on my car with the pipe. He was driving very aggressively towards his other car, trying to run him off the road.
There he goes.
When the other car was going towards the exit.
Now the car stops on the highway. Oh, ouch. Whoa. He gets out of the car, bangs on this guy's truck,
That's 800.
and then takes off.
Yeah.
Now, this story hits a couple days ago, and then lots of people were like, hey, I've been attacked by that guy. guy with the pipe in the Model Y.
So my wife is going crazy about it because he is doing all the attacking at the exit to our house. Literally,
That's the exit to your
that's
house?
the exit to our house.
Wow.
That's where all of them that were turned in. He lives around there. He always wears the same like military shirt. He's got, like, a military haircut,
And he's angry as hell.
He's got a lead pipe.
He's the angriest guy I've ever seen. But what I'm fascinated about is that he still doesn't want to pollute the environment.
Right.
He wants a zero emission car for his beatings on women in LA and people just looking at him going, "What are you doing?"
Right.
He's a fascinating character. Have they caught him?
I don't know. Sadly we had to go to Florida. But my wife was like, "That's our exit." And
No way.
And it's a bad exit. It's a bad exit.
So that's not the 10 then. I'm wrong about that.
No, it's not the 10. It's but what's bad about it is it's a 3-lane exit because it just dumps out onto a big street, and it's one of those where it's not a long light, so you'll be trying to go, and then the light turns red again before you actually get off the freeway. Mm-hmm. So you're stuck, and this guy could be running around with a pipe, bashing your car. Yeah, no,
Wow.
we're way up to date on this guy.
Well, we'd like to find him.
Bring him on the show. Does he need an attorney?
I would totally bring him on. I'm fascinated. I relate to angry people a little bit. I want to know what he's so mad about and learn from it. And because no one ever really says. I mean, he was in one of the clips. He jumps out of his car. He takes a pipe out, and you look over his shoulder, and there's a California Highway Patrol car in traffic. It, like literally 2 cars ahead of him, just misses the whole thing. It was a little frustrating.
Yeah.
And then he comes and just creams this truck. I really want to know what is setting him off.
And
I mean, how he expects to get away with this. His face is seen, but they still haven't caught him.
That's crazy. And you'd think you'd think it'd be easy to do. I mean, there's not that many. There's a lot of Teslas, but not that many.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a plate. It's like the Tesla without the license plate.
I think he does have a plate. I think he's got one of those covers on it so you don't get hit by the
the
traffic lights. LA freeways, man.
Yeah, right.
It's just one of those things.
I mean, at least it's not a handgun. Remember when it used to be a handgun? They just blow you away.
Oh, that still happens.
Yeah, but you remember when there was it was a thing.
Yeah. If you use the spike first and do not look at the person methods, this new one, it works. It really works. You can do whatever you want. You cut someone off.
Will it work with the pipe guy?
I don't know. If I see pipe guy, or if I am pipe guy, because it's just like my Tesla.
Vinny Sanchez,
just don't
pipe guy.
Don't look at Vinny Sanchez.
Yeah. I looked at a guy once on the 405, and he waved a handgun at me. Like
I've had that happen.
He pointed it like at the ceiling, but like waved it at like, hey, check this out.
Yeah, that happened to me.
Yeah.
It was a security guard. He waved it at me, and then the both of us went right by Highway Patrol, and I flashed him, and the guy goes, "What?" I go, "That guy just waved a gun at me, and they nailed him."
Oh, that's
and
good.
I felt bad. And I'm like, he didn't shoot me. He
This was I don't know if I cut that.
Why am I feeling bad for my gun abuser?
I know. I think I cut the guy off. But anyways, he pulled up next to me, and I looked at him.
Yeah.
Broke your rule, and he had
that's the challenge.
Like
the eyes are the challenge.
Gun, Yeah. It was like a revolver. He had a revolver.
We have a lot of road rage here, and somebody on some stupid local news said that it's all about this eye, and sure enough, it is. It's all about it. Just pretend you're doing anything else, but don't look. That's the engagement. Right. Speaking of engagements,
yes.
Kanye West turned up. Someone else we were talking about a few weeks back. He had disappeared. Well, guess what? He's married.
To whom?
This has nothing to do with Spike's Car Radio, but we did talk about it, that he had disappeared. You were there on that show, remember?
Yeah.
Apparently, he married someone by the name of Bianca Censori in an intimate ceremony in Beverly Hills. That's why he's gone. On Thursday, January 12th.
So Censori is not a Jewish name.
She loves this man's work so much, his most recent work out in the world, that she said, "You know what? I'm going to marry you." And the two, I guess, were married and spotted spending several days together at the Waldorf Astoria Beverly Hills Hotel. No wedding rings. But I just wanted to let everybody know the chaos is continuing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chaos is
So can we put like a head of lettuce camera on this marriage? Because wasn't he dating Julia Fox like for a hot second after
I don't
Kim?
know. I don't know. But I feel like I should defend the people of Hollywood. Like everybody go, well, that's Hollywood. No, it's
No,
not. No, it's not.
that's totally
There are
abnormal.
lots of us living here with good, strong, long marriages.
Yeah.
But we do have a wacko marriage here.
And Hollywood's mostly Jews. We hate Kanye.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's
no,
all
it's not.
Jews.
It is not.
So, well,
Is it?
I mean,
Not. How could you say that?
I was sitting in Seinfeld's office. Ferriston. Lieberman.
What? That's just our names.
Oh, right. Good point.
I'm Irish. I'm an Irish citizen.
Right.
Catholic
Right.
with a Jewish nose. Guess what I had, Johnny? Let's talk about cars again.
Oh, I thought it was
Guess
a
what I just
colonoscopy.
drove?
Go ahead. What?
After the tea. It's been a very nice week.
Yeah. I know
Very,
that car.
very nice
I know that car. And?
Lamborghini Huracan Technica.
And?
It was dropped off in a vibrant color of green that I will post a picture of, that immediately I got excited to pick up my high schooler in, who's very embarrassed by any sort of showy car whatsoever.
And that one's like, verde chlamydia color.
Yes. This is a car positioned right below, as you said, the hardcore STO, but it is positioned below. And it was smelly. They
Yes.
had been using it on a track day, and then you told me
Yes.
you had been in it. and
Yeah, I
smelled
farted
you.
in it many
boy.
times. Yeah. And so did all of Motor Trend, by the way. Yes. So.
It's definitely been, somebody had been taking that thing around the track and sweating in it. But,
Oh, yeah.
and I had it mostly on rainy days, which was really fun to have a beautiful Lamborghini on rainy days.
But
in
those,
LA.
so I went on the launch of the prototype of that in Italy, and we had 3 sessions to drive it on a track at the Nardo handling circuit at the Nardo Ring, and it rained for the first 2 sessions, and those tires were like terrible in the rain, and then it dried out, and they were excellent because they were fantastic tires.
Let me just go over some details.
Yeah.
Mid-engine, of course, 2 passenger seats, base price $275,000. V10, 631, 6 and change, the usual Huracan. In the Huracan line, getting old. It's been around for a while. Still, every time I drive them, I love these things. This 0-60 is 2.8, really fast, top speed, 200. But what is it? What is it? Let me tell you what this car is.
Yes.
You can comment on it, but let me.
Yes.
This car is about the 3 drive modes. You put it in the street mode, and you have the Evo Huracan. That's what I felt like. I was in a very reasonable car that when you press the start button in your neighborhood, there's a little bit of a trumpet blast, but up to around 4,000 RPMs. Very quiet and very nice, which is important if you want to be a Lamborghini guy. And then as you move up to your race mode and your sport mode, it's loud as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
It's louder, and it has a sound like nothing I've ever heard in my life.
It's so good.
I popped it into race mode and was just rolling at 30 miles an hour down to a stop line, and it went pop, 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 gurgle, gurgle, pop, pop. And, you've heard me say I hate Lamborghini guys for doing this, but I was Lamborghini guy, and I loved it. And it's got sports seats on it. The ride is not really a street ride, but it's not as stiff as the STO was, but it's still a little bouncy. And this thing just rips. This thing just rips. I plugged it in. I had Apple CarPlay. I was in heaven in this car, and wanted to have it longer. And it was, and again, I should know the color. It was whatever their vibrant
Verde Mantis.
Verde Mantis. Okay.
Verde Guccione. That's my friend.
Super bright green.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, everybody had a great sense of humor about it and loved it. People in the neighborhood were laughing and thought it was a great car. The kids, of course, were losing their minds. My very first drive, I drove by the little elementary school at the end of my street, and I came to that stop line, and the car gurgled in race mode.
Yeah.
And all the boys ran to the fence and screamed. They went, "Ah, Lambo!" And the teachers turned. Like, who's attacking? Is there a coyote attacking the kids? No, it's that guy in the Mantis.
Sanchez.
It's Vinny Sanchez.
Coming for your children.
Yes. Which was fun. I loved it. And it just told me a lot about the car and who likes it. What do you got on your phone? What?
I drove that exact car.
Oh, yeah,
and
there it
this
is.
is my very short Instagram caption was, hard to overstate how utterly fantastic the Lamborghini Huracan Technica is.
Yeah.
Just everything I want in a supercar. Seriously, stop buying 911 variants and grab this before the V10 is gone. They nailed it.
Yeah, they did.
And I will say this. We had it at the track at Streets of Willow, and it's just you can't get a better driving
Yeah,
experience. And we
yeah.
had like McLaren 720S, Corvette Z06, GT4 RS, just man, on the track, perfect. On the canyons, we took it up in the canyons, and it's like the brakes hold it back just because the pedal is so great on the track and it's too jumpy on the streets. It like you hit it and it upsets the car.
Yeah.
And a track, they're 40 feet wide. A single lane on a highway is 12 feet wide. So if it moves around under braking on the street, that's terrible. On the track, doesn't make a difference because you have a lot of room to play
Yeah.
with. That's the weak spot of the thing. And then, the STO, that Aero does do stuff, and this is a little softer. But and the other big thing is, remember, this is rear wheel drive. So if you bought the Evo, all wheel drive. So it's heavier in the front. The steering's not nearly as good. This, like the STO, it's got the Magic Bridgestone tires. I love that thing. I love that thing.
You're right. I just kept thinking about the track and it just going, this is fun, and I'm having fun in it like I would a GT3 RS, but it really wants to be out on the track, and I would love to hear this engine.
It's so
like
good.
I did get self-conscious blasting up, and wherever I went, I took it to tennis twice.
Yeah.
And someone said, we heard you coming from 3 miles away. Like
Yeah.
we heard the car, and then 5 minutes later you showed up.
Right.
And it was that sound and that car. And but talk about waking up a tennis game, showing up in that.
That's
All
right.
these people are getting out of the cars. I'm getting out of that thing with my tennis bag, and I'm like, that's right. That's who I am.
And it's such a great noise because we had it up, we're in Angeles Crest, and we had like a 12-mile little course we were running. And red line's like, I forget what it is in that thing, like 8250.
Yeah.
It just, you just hold it at 8,000. It just sings. It's so good.
Yeah.
Such a good
And I was
version.
grateful for the Evo mode because, there are most moments where I'm driving, I don't want the attention. I don't want to make noise. And I felt bad for my neighbors and people out there, and I didn't want to make a lot of noise. But when you click it on,
I've driven 2 of them. I've never done a foot in street mode.
I bounce around. Like I
Yeah.
have fun for a mile when no one's around and I
Yeah.
don't want to annoy people. Or let's say someone's driving slow, then in the left lane, which happens now constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly.
No, this was just, I drove the prototype in Italy on a racetrack. So I was just in race mode only. And then I drove it on a racetrack here. And then I drove it up in Angeles Crest. And I was just only in, sport or track or whatever.
Yeah.
Strada and Corsa.
Huge
I believe
winner.
they call it.
Huge winner.
Oh, killer car.
And it makes me want to be a Lamborghini.
Now, Mr. I own 7,000 911s. Would you get
don't.
one?
Yeah, I would.
Are you going to get one?
No, I mean, I'm just going to buy one. I mean,
are you-
any day of the week, I would have bought 2 cars this week, a Carrera T and then a Lamborghini. There's no end to my horrible appetite for things.
But I'm just saying, it's a car you love.
Yes.
So
would I put it in my Italian
Yes.
parking spot? Yeah, I would. I
Okay.
would. I love the Huracan. I think it's a great car, and everyone that I've driven, I think this is the 6th or 7th. I always feel that they're special and fun and really easy to drive and get around in. And this was a wild one.
Yeah.
Wild one. And I love the STO before that. I drove that car and loved that.
I think you've said it, we've said it, but it's the STO Touring. That's what the Technica is.
Right.
You lose some of the crazy wings. It still has a wing, but it's not the crazy wing. The frunk actually opens and you can put stuff in it.
Not much.
Not much, but
You know what fit in there? The podcasting equipment.
Hey, that's
was
all you
it.
need.
I had it all loaded up and I was ready to leave. And then Lamborghini said, we're coming to get the car in 30 minutes. And I went, what? I just got it.
So Italian of them. I've been trying to get the Ferrari 296.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, we'll give it to you for like half a minute. I'm like, no, I need it for like a couple days. Okay, we'll give it to you like Tuesday through Thursday. I go, no. Friday's good. And then I record podcasts with, Spike on Sunday. I want it to have it Sunday.
I want it on the weekend.
And they're like, oh, and like now it got moved out to March. They just can't figure it's so
I don't know why. That's
Ferrari.
My usual Ferrari loan is I say Friday to Monday. That I'll do a lot of driving, lifestyle, dad driving, racing, hanging out, and I'll be able to report on it. It's
They're
perfect.
really struggling, but it's going to happen in March. We'll have it in March.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I think I reached out to Mercedes too. I want to get some more Mercedes. I'm into driving cars now. Now they have a little time. This is nice.
You need the G-Wagon.
Well, I am getting the Sondors motorcycle. I've got the the CEO of Ducati coming on the show.
Oh, no kidding.
And they're going to send a Ducati over.
You know,
yeah, we've got some surprise. We've got some good guests coming up the next couple of weeks.
They're owned by Lamborghini.
Yeah, I know.
Ducati, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Ducati, Porsche, the whole family.
Yeah.
Right? It's all one big thing. You know what I'm going to say to him?
No.
I'm going to say, last year, the year just before last year, 2020, we started driving Ducatis, and I started talking about how great these bikes were. And there were really only two brands I was interested in, BMW and Ducati. And but if you put a gun to my head, I'm going to pick the Ducati. And I drove a lot of their bikes. 2022, they had the best sales they've ever had. Best sales ever.
No
and it's
coincidence.
It's no coincidence. It's all Vinny Sanchez.
Vinny Sanchez, Ducati dealer extraordinary.
I told everybody Ducatis are great bikes. No one knew this before. No one had any clue. And now, and of course I used it because this fella's coming on the show. I said, you should be sending me over another Ducati. And they said, all right, we're going to send over a V2. So I have a chance to kill myself again next week.
Don't die. Well, if you
Saunders electric bike that I'm excited about, the new production bike there, this Ducati, and then whatever else we can rustle up. Let's drive some stuff.
Oh, I got cars.
You got tons.
Yeah.
Did we cover it? Is there anything we did not talk about?
The Rivian, it's like the truck, but it's got 3 rows.
Well, let's talk about that next week. The Rivian SUV, that deserves a full report.
Yeah, right? I only got it today anyway. So.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. I saw there was a press Rivian SUV up in Tahoe at the ski resort up at Heavenly, parked in a very special spot with a Dazzle, some kind of like blue camo Dazzle paint job. I wonder who had that.
Oh, that's actually an employee car. Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah?
I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, it's probably like the guy that tunes snow mode. Like they said, go skiing for the weekend and tell us how snow mode is or whatever.
Wow. Well, it definitely had a chance to perform.
Yeah.
Because that was the crazy week. It's only gotten crazier.
Right?
Only gotten crazier.
Yeah. Our power went out constantly this afternoon. It was wonderful.
Oh, man.
Yeah. LA, not built for the rain.
I know. Yeah. No, I know. It's been wild. It's been wild since Zuckerman and I were bragging about warm weather here.
Do you remember?
It's just been difficult.
Do you remember?
I'm not going to lie. It's
the last time we recorded at your house and it was like 75.
Yeah.
And we're having the cigars.
Yes.
And like everyone else was like either boiling or freezing or some horrible. And we're like,
Well, now we're suffering a little bit.
Yeah.
So enjoy that. Enjoy our suffering wherever you are, and keep your heads down if things are tough. And keep on listening to Spike's Car Radio. We'll get through this 23 together.
And Vinny Sanchez will be there to help you out along the way.
I've been hearing more, and some of the last holdouts getting COVID all of a sudden. Doctor friend of mine.
Oh,
friend of the show, Porsches. You know that guy, Porsches.
No, but that's okay.
Works at Cedars. Great fellow.
Okay.
And Porsche enthusiast and hot rodder and the whole deal.
He got it?
Yeah, he said, watch out. He said he got it, and all the doctors on his floor suddenly got it last week.
Ooh.
So I decided to go to a set with 700 people today in a hangar.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. And actors, they're very serious.
Yeah. I take all doctors' advice very seriously. He said, be careful. And I said, all right. And the next day I went to a set with 700 people playing basketball and breathing hard and screaming. So that was today. And the other guy who said, look, stay off that knee. I immediately played tennis 3 days in a row.
That's great.
3 days in a row.
That's great.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I can't stop playing tennis. All right. You can't ask me to do that. If you're watching Netflix's Breakpoint and if you're not, watch it. Even if you don't like tennis, watch this thing. You'll understand what's happened to your friend Spike. I've lost it. I'm addicted to this sport in a very real way.
I don't want any spoilers or anything, but I'm infatuated with that show Winning Time. And I just got to ask you a question.
Okay.
Since you're a Massachusetts,
I'll just whisper what I know.
No. I just want to ask a personal question. Were you a big Celtics fan?
Very big, and we discussed that. I discussed that, and especially the portrayal of Red Auerbach.
So
and the Celtics fans
and Larry Bird.
And Larry Bird is kind of racist, right?
Kind of is a mild way to put it.
And I remember saying, I really identified with Larry Bird because he was like me. He looked like me as a little kid. I just thought, well, that's a guy like me. Maybe I could play in Red Auerbach. And I always knew there was kind of a whiff of racism in my town a little bit. I was always going, why are people saying that? I thought we weren't supposed to use words like that. But growing, we talked about it. I said I was, it was funny to watch their portrayal and to see that whole thing in a different light and go, yeah, that was kind of true, I guess, now that I look back on it. But, where we were raised, it was always very kind of segregated. Like you'd hear these stories that, hey, you're Irish. Don't go to the Italian part of Boston, right? Don't go over there. And it don't wear green anywhere near Little Italy because you'll get your ass kicked.
Right.
And vice versa. If you're Italian, my Italian friends, don't go to Southie.
Don't wear orange on St. Patrick's Day.
By the way, everybody wore whatever they want. Nothing ever happened. But it was a very, I look back and I go, God, it's really kind of, racist in a.
My buddy did sound. My buddy Lewis did sound on season 1 of Winning Time, and I remember when he was doing it, he's like, he called me. He's like, I can't tell you anything, but like, you're gonna love Larry Bird so much. He's the greatest villain in TV history.
Yeah.
So
I did hear a story about that actor.
Okay.
And I think I can tell it.
Yeah.
Because it's not really, I'm sure it's public information.
As long as it doesn't advance the plot.
I said, where did the casting so wonderful in the show? I go, where did you find this Larry Bird guy? And he said he was in college and he was he was an actor and he was writing his thesis on Larry Bird. I said, you're kidding? I go, so we cast him. Yeah. I go, and he plays basketball, and he can hit from the 3-point line. I go, you're kidding.
Wow.
And these guys were, out there. This was a basketball shooting day, and they were out there hitting 3-pointers, and I'm like, wow, what a small little target to have to hit. Like, great actor who's also like almost 7 foot and can shoot and can.
I have a question about that. I'm fascinated by this. Were they standing on boxes to be taller?
No, everybody was tall.
Because I know the guy that plays Magic, he's like 6'3", but Magic's 6'10", so in a lot of scenes they have him on a box.
Yeah.
So I just want to see I just wonder if they had the boxes out.
No.
Okay.
Everybody,
The guy that plays Kareem is like huge.
Yeah.
Ah, so good. By the way, that portrayal, it's just fantastic.
I already said too much.
Well, they're playing basketball on the basketball show. That's fine.
I want to thank Max and the whole crew over there. They're awesome. We had so much fun.
When does season 2 start?
I have no idea.
Oh, I can't wait.
This isn't my show. I
can't wait.
I've been sworn to secrecy. I've already said too much. I was pretty excited about it. And Dave Richardson, of course, thank you for inviting us there. Dave, who worked on Seinfeld back in the day and said he was also a photographer, said he has a bunch of photography from the last night that none of us have ever seen, the last night of Seinfeld. How great is that? So he's going to get that to us when Jerry's out here in a couple weeks.
That's when you were a juror?
No, I mean the last night of shooting.
Okay.
So at the last night of shooting, we shot that last episode, and then we had a rap party for the whole series.
Party. Okay.
Yeah, where we all just sat around, and the cast was crying, and everybody was crying, and then we were drinking, and then we're happy, and I think we sat on the coffee shop set, most of us, until like 2 a.m, telling stories and drinking and saying our goodbyes. It was really a great night. There was a photographer there whose name I forget, who kind of documented the whole thing and put out a book later on. But apparently now Dave has a bunch of new photos, which, weren't very interested. I was never very interested in any of that stuff way back then, but now I'm very interested.
Sure.
Because my wife, we were just started dating. She's there. I just want to see everybody.
Would your kids care?
No.
Yeah.
No. They don't care about much that I do right now. They really don't, unless it benefits them in some way.
Right.
That it's all about them. They enjoy when I take them out for electric bicycle rides, and we discovered a little off-road whoopty trail right up the street, way up in the mountains where we live, and that's been really fun. We hit that right after the rains. Not smart. but it was an adventure, and the 12-year-old came home and was telling his mom, "You wouldn't believe what we just did." We were covered with mud. It was great. It was fun. We got caught at one point, and there were we met this guy. You know, if you had seen where we went, it felt like we went a mile. We went all the way to the top of this hill and then went a mile into the brush on a short trail that was mostly washed out with whoopties that then led into puddles, right? And my son is on something called a Sur-Ron, electric motorcycle that he got, and I'm on my Saunders stuff. I'm a big Saunders fan, so I've got my XS with the big fat tires, and we're just jamming, and I'm going, God, you know, you have these moments with your kids, like it happened on the mountain too, where it's like, God, I'm a mile into this place I don't know that I can get out of with this kid that's just kind of learning how to ride. Mm-hmm. And we go around a corner, and there's a guy with a shovel just digging and fixing the jumps. And we start chatting with him. We were like, who are you? Do you work for the city? He goes, no, I'm just part of this little community of mountain bikers up here. And we come up here, there are 15 of us, and we all fix the trail and make sure it's safe for each other. Meanwhile, he's building a ramp that goes straight up.
Right.
As high as this desk.
Right. Safe.
Super cool guy.
Oh, okay. He didn't hit you with the shovel?
No, it's just, good. I'm so impressed with it. And I'm like, it's so cool that you're out here on your own time. I go, wait, do you live in Brentwood here? And he's like, no, I live downtown. He goes, I just love to ride, you know, and right away, here's another community of people I want to be a part of.
No, it's great. I mean, we do that up on Angeles Crest. There's people that like pick up, they just pull into a turnout and pick up trash.
Yeah.
See it all the time.
Yeah.
And just because like it sucks, because people dump trash up there because
right.
It's isolated and it's hard to find the dump, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, it's awesome.
You're that trash.
Your mother.
I didn't get to play this sound cue, but I'll play it on the way out. It's a special sound cue that I'm going to use for not just you, but for anybody on the show who says something out of turn.
Oh.
You ready?
Yeah.
Here it is.
Hey man, just want to let you know that sometimes you gotta shut the fuck up. And this current time is just one of those times you gotta shut the fuck up. I don't think you're a bad person, I just don't want to hear you talking anymore. You gotta shut the fuck up.
What do you think?
It's a little long. I think you could have Jack shorten it, maybe 20 seconds.
I was hoping you'd say something stupid, but you didn't.
Oh, sorry.
So I could use it, but I had to play it. I think it's pretty good.
I mean,
look, you can point to me when I say something stupid and I'll play it.
Okay.
Hey man, just wanna let you know.
All right, that's our show, ladies and gentlemen.
Shut the fuck up.
Next week, we'll have something exciting. Hopefully Zuckerman will be back. Yeah. Might be Ducati guy. I don't know yet, but it's a good show. Good shows coming up. See you next week on Spike's Car Radio.
You know that sometimes you gotta shut the fuck up. And this current time is just one of those times you gotta shut the fuck up. I don't think you're a bad person. I just don't want to hear you talking anymore. You gotta shut the fuck up.
Thanks for listening to Spike's Car Radio, brought to you by Hangar 56. Listen to new episodes every Wednesday, and be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.